Ooh, welcome back, folks. This is Truffles, and we're here with another episode of the Survival Series. And a lot has changed since the last episode. Totally not because I ended up not being able to use any of the footage I recorded or anything like that. Um, Windows audio problems and stuff. Anyway, so let's just go over everything that we've done so far, shall we? So, yeah, we got two beacons now. I totally didn't fight a wither off camera or anything. I mean, it was on camera, but the audio was unusable. Just Windows is great, isn't it? Anyway, so yeah, we fought a wither and got another beacon. I actually had to relocate the wither cheese area because the old one, as you might know, was not functioning quite right. So the wither was able to get out, and now we fixed that problem. So anyway, what else has changed? Yes, the keyboard. So yeah, I actually switched out a lot of the switches in this thing. So this thing is a lot more quiet. Like the space bar is quieter. All the regular keys are quieter. Of course, our numbers still make a lot of noise. The shift key, control key, yeah. So I didn't have the cache to switch out every switch, but at least there should be a lot less noise, which is a good thing, I guess. Also, we made a major change, which was supposed to be the content of today's episode, but unfortunately, that footage is unusable, right? So I'm just going to show you what I did. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? Because I certainly wasn't. Yeah, there's been a major change here. We've got all the spawning platforms in place for our slime farm now. So yeah, actually that didn't really take that long because I figured out a trick with the speed beacon. When you have speed 1 enabled, you're actually able to put down blocks a lot faster because it's actually synced up. But unfortunately, I don't have any footage of that to show you, so you're just gonna have to take my word for it. So yeah, I guess we do have some kind of functioning slime farm right now. I mean, it's not done, of course. We still need to put the slime dropping platforms in, or whatever you call it. But because of my little recording mishap there, we won't have enough time to do that project, unfortunately. So I gotta figure out what we can do here that'll make a lot of progress in not a whole lot of time. Maybe this place. Yeah, I think we could probably tackle this village project today. So we actually have a handful of villagers in our world now. We have these two guys. There is another guy over here next to our... let's see, where did he go? Oops. Let's see, next to our slime farm, I believe he's over here somewhere. Well, you can hear him. I'm not really sure where he is. Ah, yeah, he's right there. So we got another farmer over here. And there's one third guy. Yeah, next to our potion lab is the fourth guy, I believe. Yeah, he's just down in that hole. He doesn't have any trades yet. I haven't leveled him up or anything like that. But, yeah, I think we have enough villagers to start our village project now. For real this time. But there is a catch, of course. I won't be moving the villagers to the village today, but I will be building the village itself. So I guess I'll start by tearing out the floor in here. I'm going to figure out where I want to start this thing exactly. And then I'm going to start replacing it. I just said the word start 3 times in a row, but whatever. I'll be replacing this with dirt. And hopefully we can convert this to grass later. Okay, so all the dirt's down, and I believe we can just go in here and replace a block here and there with grass, and hopefully it will spread. Now, one thing I've been concerned about in the design of this village is how to keep out zombies, because ultimately I want to have our villagers be able to roam around inside the village. But, I mean, we are underground, we're in a cave system after all, so we are going to get attacked by zombies basically all the time. So I guess one thing we could probably do is have a bunch of villagers that we never take out of their houses. They're just trapped in there. So just in case we need to repopulate the village, that's an option. So I'm just going to grab some logs here and start some rough layouts. Alright, so let's take a look at what we have here. Actually, I'm going to start at the top here because it might make more sense. But I hollowed out all this area here, and we have a couple of houses here. I guess this is like templates. I'm not even sure if I'm going to be sticking to the oak wood. As you can probably see from the layout here, we have a bunch of houses that are kind of like overlapping. This is probably going to be like up there, with maybe an entrance over here. I've also added this little tunnel going off into that one area. I want to have like at least have one really cramped long tunnel that has a bunch of like shop looking things on either side. Maybe we'll put some trading booths in that area and have the rest be like sort of like residential area, if that makes any sense. But there's one major thing that's left on the list, and that is to head over to a mesa biome. I want to get some terracotta and put that back in here as our main color block. So that brings us back to amidst once again. We're looking at our world here, of course, and I don't see any mesa biomes around, so I'm just going to turn on those flags here. I believe it'd be Mesa, Mesa Plateau, Bryce, all these different things. I think that's it. So I think we have to hit that button. And let's see just how far out the closest mesa biome is. There we go. There's one. That's pretty far out, actually. Looks like we are looking at over 5,000 blocks south of our home. That is some pretty serious distance to cover, even in the nether. So let's get these coordinates down and calculate out our positions in the nether and figure out just how much of a nether tunnel we have to build here. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Alright, so the nether coordinates come out to 177,734, which is like 400 blocks in this direction. Kind of a shame because the nether update comes out like the date of this upload, and we're generating all this new terrain without the new biomes. So kind of a shame, but we can deal with that later. Okay, this is the spot. So I'm just going to clear out some space, of course, set up our portal, and see if it's as I calculated. So I guess we'll just hop in and hope for the best. Oh, nice. Wow, this is actually pretty cool. Well, there's an abandoned mine shaft over there. That's pretty cool. Wow, this is actually some really cool oh, crap. Yeah, this is a really cool oh my god. Good thing this weren't lava pools, eh? But yeah, take a look at this. This is like some... I think this was recently added, actually. This is, I think, Bryce. Eroded Badlands. Okay. Yeah, I've never even heard of this biome before. I mean, there are a lot of friggin' abandoned mine shafts. Alright, so we got some terracotta, of course. I don't think you can change the color of this stuff once it's dyed, so I got some regular terracotta. Also picked up some white and gray terracotta as well. I've got all the terracotta in place. Well, at least it's temporary. And I have actually stripped some of the bark here in some places, and I'm not really too sure about whether or not that goes with the terracotta. I think we have to dye this a different color. Okay, so this is with some new colors. Got pink, blue, light blue, yellow. These are the original colors. We've got just standard terracotta, white. I think this is light gray and red. And I think the colors are looking pretty nice, but this block right here has to be changed out. But I don't know what I'm going to change it out for, so I'm going to leave it like this for now, and we'll see what we can do with the rest of the village. First things first, I think we should probably figure out how to build our pathway that goes through the middle of the village. We're definitely going to have some kind of slabs here. I'm just using oak to begin with. So we could probably mix in some path blocks. Other blocks are possible. Let's just put in some path blocks down the middle. I don't know. One thing I'm not quite too fond of is the height difference between the path blocks and the regular grass. So that might have to be changed out in the future. Plus, path blocks look pretty bad, I think. Honestly, maybe we could mix in some coarse dirt or something just to break up the brownness of the path. And here's with gravel mixed into the path. I'm not too sure about that. I mean, we could probably go for like a mostly gravel-based walkway here. We could probably mix in some andesite or something to make it more gray, but I think that detracts from the color in the scene here. But while I would like to get this entire project done today, I think we should probably move on so that we can add some variety to the episode. So one of the things I'd like to work on is the water drop going down into the village. So yeah, I mean, it's still kind of related to the village in some way, but it's going to require building a new building of sorts. So what I'd like to do is clear out some space here for our new entrance point and maybe figure out some kind of building or something to build around it. So I'm going to start by putting down some smooth quartz slabs like usual so that it will blend in with the rest of our builds. But from here, I'm really not too sure what we can do with this. So we can either have like a really massive staircase going down into the ground, or we can have an elevator system, which is probably faster. Now, a slime elevator kind of makes sense. It prevents mobs from getting down to the bottom level, but it kind of makes this roof-looking thing look kind of strange. I think we should probably build some kind of a building in here, or we can just cover it up and call it done. So now all we'll have to do is dig a hole that will go all the way down to wherever we put this slime launcher thing. Alright, there we go. Which brings me to the next problem, which is this tunnel is way too long to launch up to the top with a slime launcher. Which means we're going to have to hop into a creative testing world and engineer out an elevator. And engineer out one I did. So we have actually a pretty simple design here. I'm quite proud of just how simple and elegant it came out. But let's give this thing a whirl, shall we? So all we have to really do is just hit this button, and the timings are predetermined, and we land here at the very top. All the redstone consists of really is just a giant stack of torches going all the way up to the top, and a handful of repeaters in there just to get the timings just right. So yeah, it's a really simple design. So I think let's just go ahead and build it, shall we? So we're going to need to put slime blocks at the bottom, of course. And I believe that the device launches you up 6 blocks. So the next layer of slime blocks has to be right here. So for our non-sticky block, I'll be using melons, followed by a lantern and a stair. And we're here in the desert because I need quite a bit of green dye. And wow, there are a lot of zombie pigmen around here. And we'll use that to craft up some lime terracotta. That will go in between the layers here with some quartz stairs on top and the bottom. Alright, I'd say that's looking pretty good. But we're only about halfway done. We still gotta do the redstone. And that is the unfun part. Okay, so the redstone for this thing is actually pretty simple in concept, really, but it's quite tedious. So at the very bottom here, all I need to really do is run a signal from our button on the other side of that that block over to here, and I'm gonna put actually, I don't really think this needs any delay because we have a button there. And on top of this, I'm going to put a torch, not that kind of a torch, this kind of torch, followed by a block, another torch, and a block. Now the cool thing about my design is there's this torch tower running up the entire side of it. Just a bunch of blocks in a diagonal like this with torches on alternating sides. And that serves as both a vertical power transmission circuit and a delay circuit. Now the opposite side of this thing is a little bit more complicated. We need a piston, sticky piston that is facing upwards on that side, and on the opposite side, a piston going outwards. So I opted for this design because it ended up being the most compact. We can just run redstone off of this. All we have to do is put a redstone torch, I believe, right there. A block on top of that. I believe we can put a repeater here set to 3 ticks, and a block and a piece of redstone dust right there. Oh, and I totally forgot, we actually need to replace this block right here with a melon. So that way it doesn't stick to the slime blocks right here. course, we have to do this for each level. We're just going to put a sticky piston facing upwards, a sticky piston facing inwards, and a torch here, block on top of that, block in front of that, and melon, a piece of redstone, and a repeater going into that with 3 ticks. Of course, this wouldn't be a survival episode without some mistakes, so I actually had to rewire this a little bit. Just had to flip around the repeater and the redstone dust because that was causing this piston to activate too early. So now I'll just replace this melon and see if everything works. The elevator is not going to actually fully activate, but what's going to happen, hopefully, is everything should push out a block. So, here we go. Wait, what the heck? Oh, that's right. So the slime block was moving this block right here, which is breaking the melon, taking the lantern with it. So I'll just replace that. So let's hope we got everything there. We'll just test it again. No broken melons this time, and everything extends and retracts like expected. So that's pretty good. And now to build our people launching mechanism activation circuit, I guess. So on every level where we have a melon, we're going to add this extra couple of blocks with redstone dust on top of that, and that will power this block. So now, if I'm not mistaken, I believe we can test this thing out for the first time here. It's not going to eject us from the machine, but we should, at the very least, be able to get up to the top. Oh. I don't know how that stair got there, but it's taking the stair along with it. So we get pushed forward before it launches us upward. Guess I'll just take that out and place it. Okay, maybe this time it'll work. Who knows? Let's just test it out. No way! It actually worked. That's pretty friggin' cool. And that brings us to what was actually the hardest part of the whole design to come up with. The passenger unloading system, which I guess we're just going to call that for now. Oh, crap. So we have to take out these slime blocks right here and move them up a handful of blocks. I guess I'll just place some sandstone slabs, or smooth stone slabs here as a replacement, and move the slime blocks to right here. Oh, crap. And behind those slime blocks goes 3 sticky pistons. And then we'll hop down here and build the rest of our circuit. And before we forget, we actually need 3 more sticky pistons. That's not going to work. I guess I'll just try to get them facing the right direction like that. And this is why I hate redstone in survival. And then we'll just take some signal off of this torch. I'm just going to do kind of a lazy thing here and put delays on all 3 of these repeaters. We still need repeaters here anyway. And we did not need 3 sticky pistons up here. We only need 1 because that's a slime block. I totally should have known that. And then we'll put a 4-tick delay here and a 3-tick delay in front of that. Just running some redstone over top of all this and across here. And let's see if this thing works. Oh wait, before we do that, actually we need to place some trapdoors right here. And I'll explain exactly why we need to do this later. But for now, let's see if this thing works. I'm just going to hop down here and just make sure everything looks fine. I guess it does. So let's test it out. Amazing. Hold on. We got to do that a second time. There's no way that just worked. I think it's like the first time I've ever done anything in this game that just worked the first time around. Oops. Yeah, it seems to work just fine. And yeah, I said I was going to explain why the trapdoors are there. Even though we land on this block, what's actually happening is our character is hitting this block and then sort of like sliding forward a little tiny bit due to momentum or whatever, which I find very interesting, but it was also very difficult to engineer around. That's also why I have this really complicated contraption up here as opposed to just having slime blocks push you over, because I found that having them activate every single time and reliably push you exactly 6 blocks, or whatever width this thing is extremely difficult. So those blocks there extend just to reset your vertical velocity, and the pistons on top of that extend and launch you to the other side. So yeah, I would call it Project A success. This is definitely working, but unfortunately, we are out of time for today's episode. In fact, we are double overtime, I guess, for whatever you want to call it, for the episode. I had to record the entire thing all over again, basically, because first time around, Windows was being Windows, and I lost all the audio. But as a side effect of that, I think we did a lot of stuff today. I mean, it was I think it might have been a little bit more interesting than usual. I mean, I did leave a lot of the talky bits in, but, you know, that's good enough. But yeah, I hope you feel... Oh, crap, it's a raid! Oh, man, just when I thought we were going to end the episode here, you know what's going to happen? It'll happen in the next episode. So thanks for watching, folks, and I'll see you then. Take care. Bye-bye.